Do you know the reason why 90% of the people struggle with the PT reading section? Why is the PT reading section the most difficult section in the exam? The answer to this struggle is vocabulary. Most of the students who fail in the PT reading section, they don't understand the meaning of the given words. And as a result, they are unable to get the correct answers. Well, if someone is making a video that you can improve in reading and writing fill in the blanks or reading fill in the blanks overnight from 2 out of 5 to 5 out of 5. They are false promises, beware of that. But there is a smart and faster way to improve your PT specific vocabulary, and that is what I am going to share in this video. Words that are asked in the exam the most in the reading fill in the blanks and the reading writing fill in the blanks, and many of these words do get repeated in one or the other places. So I have extracted these words for you from the latest PT reading fill in the blanks as well as reading writing fill in the blanks. Hey everyone, this is Anurag from Edutrainex PTE. Hope you all are doing great, and this vocabulary video is special because if you get these words in the exam, you will know what they mean, and then you are able to solve the questions easily. Hit subscribe and sit tight because this extract is for the month of June 2024, and if you are going to take the PT exam in this month, make sure you are thorough with these words and don't worry about noting them down, because in the end I will give you a link to download all these words. Just watch it carefully. There is an old English proverb, if you are on the right path, then you will be successful. And this is the path you have chosen to improve your vocabulary, and that is a must-have in the PT reading section. Without the power of words, you will be unable to understand the meaning of the words that have been given to you and unable to solve the problems, despite spending a lot of time. So let's start cracking with the 40 vocabulary words that have appeared for reading fill in the blanks and reading writing fill in the blanks in this and the last month. So the first set of words is right in front of you, and these are the words that have been coming in the exam lately. The first one is despite. Despite, in spite. Despite of doing this, even then I am not successful. So even then or even though, that is the meaning of this word. The second one is contentment. So content is something that is like the content of this video, but this is pronounced also differently. Content. Content and contentment means satisfied, being peaceful. So that is what content can also be used for. Two meanings. The third one is community. Community is a very familiar word for you. Group of people, society, anything. It's a group of people, basically. Segment. Segment is a part of something. Market segment, infrastructure segment. So parts or segments or sections, like even in the PT exam, you have 4 sections. You can call them as segments. Next one is overwhelming. Overwhelming is a little bit too much, intense. Because if you are attending a session and if you are learning too many things at one point of time, that it is intense session. Sometimes you won't even understand the full thing. So that is overwhelming, too much. Concentrations. This concentration is different than the focus one. Concentration. This concentrations mean that it is the amount of something. Concentration of liquid, concentration of gaseous, those things. The next one is invade. Invade means attack or occupy. Like if there are attackers occupying, invading the country and occupying there, that's what invade means. Declare a war. Exploit means utilize, and utilize it 100%. So if I'm asking you to utilize or exploit this video to your advantage, so utilize all the words that I'm sharing with you. That's what exploit means. Chronic means persistent for a long time. Chronic disease or chronic problem, chronic habit. So that doesn't go away, persistent. Ozone is something related to the atmospheric layer, ozone layer. The chemical formula for ozone is O3, I believe, but that's what protects us from the ultraviolet rays. It's in atmosphere, ozone. Simultaneously means happening at the same time, concurrently. Another word you can learn, concurrently. Barriers are the obstacles, barriers to success, barriers to being successful in the PT reading section. The vocabulary, Exactly. That's what we are doing here. Cease. Cease means to stop. Cease to exist. Stop to exist. Initiate. It's a very common word. Start. Begin. That's what initiate means. The next set of words is these. We'll also be doing some real exam questions where you will see that whatever you are learning in this video, you can apply them directly in the exam. The next set of words begins with staged, means arranged. We have staged something for you. Consistency, uniformity, consistent, being consistent, getting the same amount of results every time. That is being consistent. Intentions, what are your thoughts? What are your intentions? What do you want to do? What are your plans? That's what intentions means. Budget is very common word related to finances, controlling how much you want to spend. That's what budget means. Plausible is a different form than possible, similar meaning, but something that can be believable. Is this video or is that video content believable? Is it plausible? So that's what plausible means. Overrated means overvalued, something that is overrated. Possessions means belongings, the things that you own, that you have, that are your possessions, your belongings. Allegation means if someone is accusing of something, allegating you. So you have done something, accusing, allegating, or blame you for something. Analyze and analyzing, you can spell with an S as well. British and American English both are accepted, means examining. Whereabouts, where and about both are combined together in this word, a very common word in Australia. If I go outside, then if someone asks me, whereabouts do you live? So that means they are asking me my location. Where exactly do I live? That's what it means, whereabout. Alleviate. Alleviate means relieve. Don't confuse it with elevate. It's a different spelling, different word. Elevate means increase. Alleviate means relieve. I am relieved of something. Or alleviate your pain. Painkillers alleviate your pain. That's what alleviate means. Fiction means imaginary stories, something you are cooking up in your mind. All the novels, fiction novels, stories, those are fiction. Concocted means invent or cook something up. Concocted something. Compile something that you want to show. Acclaimed. Acclaimed means praised. This movie was acclaimed for various reasons. Acclaimed means people are liking it. Praise it for something. Okay, next we move on to next set of words. Hope you have learned good things till now. The next one is enhance. Enhance means improve, and this video is going to enhance your performance in the PT exam and the similar videos focusing on the vocabulary. Theorize means speculate. Hypothesize, something you are having an idea about, nothing real. Theorize. Reciprocating is returning the same way. So basically, if you get something and you return it the same way, that means you are reciprocating the results. Analogous means similar. Analogous, similar. Analogy, don't confuse it with analogy. It's a different word. Sustained means maintained. Sustaining something. Gradual, slow progress. Gradually you will improve in the PT reading section. This will help you to improve faster, enhance your performance. But if you do reading every day, definitely those things will help you to improve your reading skills gradually. Innovation is invention. Innovating something, inventing something. Simmers, cooking gently. This word also appeared in the exam, so I put it there. Not many people realize what is the meaning of this word. Simmer, cooking slowly, gently, not to the boiling point. Degrade means deteriorate. So degrading your performance, deteriorating your performance, something has gone down, gone bad. Distinguish means differentiate. I'm able to distinguish between these two things. I'm finding the difference. That's what distinguish means. Determine means ascertain, not determination. Determine. You need to find out something. Determine what is happening. So that's what determine means. And this is one of the favorite words in the PT exam. I have seen it getting repeated in several questions, not only in the reading fill in the blanks, but also listening. So that's why it is very important word. You can note it down as well. You can also download it in the end. The last one in this list is urbanization, means development. Cities, infrastructure, development, urbanization. Rural, urban. Rural is opposite. Countryside, village. That is the opposite of urban. Keep that in mind. Now I will show you some of the words that are simple and appearing in the exam, but also repeating. And determine is the first one. Okay. Every single month that I've seen for the last couple of months, this word is definitely there in one or the other question. So make sure you know the meaning properly. Aware, simple word, meaning being aware of something, conscious of something. Difference, distinguish, distinction. Distinction between two things. Thoroughly means completely, properly. Transforming means changing. Transform it into something, changing it something. Meanwhile, simultaneously, or I was doing my preparation and in the meanwhile, I was also preparing for my vocabulary. So simultaneously at the same time. Analytical is analyzing logical things. Flexible is adaptable. And then lastly, disclosed is revealed. Disclosure agreement. Something is disclosed, revealed to you. Okay, so these are the words, 40 words plus additional 9 to 10 words I have given you. So in total around 50 words. Please make sure you are thorough with these words. Now we will do the real exam questions. So now we have some real exam questions for you. Let's start on it straight away. Understanding the meanings is really important. So you see the options and the same words we have done until now, and it will be much more clear to you when you are solving these questions. Understand the context. Trees may have a lot to teach us about being part of something, dash, and how cooperation is better for a society than dash. So it is talking about that being part of something related to society. Now see the options. Community, strong, grown, through, share, despite, competition, contentment. Now you know the meaning of most of the words that are given here. So what do you think the answer will be? Part of a group is community. That's what we discussed. And that's how you find the answer. Now the next one, cooperation is better for a society than. So it is contrasting something, giving you the opposite information. What is the opposite of cooperation? Now if you see, the opposite of cooperation is competition. You cooperate or you compete. So that's how you are able to find the second answer. Contentment, you know, is satisfied, peaceful, not making sense here. So you can ignore that one. Now we move on to the next one. Scientists are only just beginning to understand how it all works. But we now know that trees growing together dash all of the available resources with each other. Dash resources with each other. What do you do resources with each other? You share it. So it's a common word, very commonly known. You know the meaning, you can solve the question. I think this question is picked up from the May prediction file. You can download it. I think right in the beginning of the reading fill in the blanks, you will find this question. So these are real exam questions. So the next one. So dash trees in a very good position will supply food and water to weaker trees that receive less sunlight. So dash trees in a very good position. If someone is in a good position, then they are stronger. So what word do we have here? We do have strong here, and try to put this word and see if it fits the meaning. So strong trees in a very good position. It does make sense. You can try the other words as well. Grown trees, through trees, despite trees, contentment trees. Not making sense. So that's what is the fourth answer. And the last one, they do this dash their roots, the soil, and also the networks of the tiny fungi that grow in the soil among them. They do this through. Now you know the meaning of through, and you can put the other words in the context and see whichever is fitting. Despite means even though, it's not fitting the meaning. Contentment means satisfied, not fitting the meaning. Grown, again related to growing, not fitting here. They do this through their roots. through something, through the soil and also the networks. So you see how easy it was to solve the question when you know the meaning of the words. Let's do the next one. So the next question is a little bit tricky one, a real exam question. But we will see that if we know the meanings, then we can still solve it meaningfully and in a proper manner. So these are the options that you are given, and you can see a lot of words we have discussed in this video. So let's start. Clones of an eastern cottonwood. Cottonwood, it's a plant. Populus deltoides is a scientific name. In the Bronx and other city spots grew to double the biomass. So we are talking about growing of the plants of clones dash outside small towns upstate or on Long Island, says the scientist. So what is the word related to growing? Can you see any of the words? It's planted. So planted will be the first one, and if you put it there, it will make sense to you. Planted outside small towns. So that's what we are talking about. Makes perfect sense. The next one is dash chemists have known that dash. Let's read the previous sentence to understand more context. Environmental Protection Agency, Western Ecological Division, the growth gap comes from ozone damage. So we are talking about ozone damage. She and her New York colleagues report. And dash chemists have known that dash may spike skyscraper high in city air, but during a full 24 hours, rural trees actually get a high cumulative ozone exposure from dash pollution. So we are talking about ozone. And if you see dash chemists, so we are talking about people who are working in this area. Pay chemist, urban chemist, overwhelming chemist, concentration chemist, invades chemist doesn't make sense. Only two words can make sense here, urban or ozone. But context wise, if you see, ozone is the one we are talking about. Urban chemists, there is no such thing, urban or rural chemists. So ozone chemists are the one who are working related to ozone layer. Okay, so that will be the second answer. We've done this one. Have known that dash may spike skyscraper high. What may spike? Something related to the amount. Skyscraper in city air, or something may spike in the city air. Concentrations may spike. So they are researching that concentrations may spike of ozone. So that's what is making sense here. If you try to put any other words, it will not make sense here. So you have to be perfectly logical and analytical in your approach. Connect the dots. This is a context-based question. So understanding the meanings of the words is really important. The next one, rural trees get a higher cumulative ozone exposure from dash pollution. And now we see where can the pollution occur. Pay pollution, urban pollution, spend, overwhelming, all the words are not making sense. Urban pollution, city is where all the pollution happens. So that will be your fourth answer. You know the meaning of urban, it makes perfect sense here. The next one is shows that a series of new experiments now shows that this hang around ozone is the dash factor in tree growth. The researchers say in the July 10th Nature. Dash factor. What kind of factor can we think of? Pay factor, spend factor, invades factor is not even in the correct form. It's a plural word. Overwhelming factor. Overwhelming. Now you know intense. So that is making, it's an intense factor for the growth, in tree growth. So that's what is making perfect sense here. And the last one, the study has profound importance in showing us most vividly that rural areas dash the price. Now this is a collocation. Dash the price. You pay the price. So that's how you found the sixth answer. And you see, if you know the meanings, you will be able to solve the questions properly in this manner. Well done. And don't worry if you don't know many of the words that I showed. You can download and learn them. You still have time. You just saw that it can directly help you to solve the PTE reading fill in the blanks questions. So they are really important. And if you want to boost your spelling scores for the listening fill in the blanks questions, then do watch the video on the 40 spellings for listening fill in the blanks questions for this month. Keep watching Edutrainex and you will get closer to your PTE score with every video and every learning with us. See you soon.